Well, greetings everybody, and welcome to a brand new edition of the Inworld Review. When we talk about Inworld, we're talking about being in a virtual world, or many virtual worlds in many ways. We actually look at people and places and art as well on the Hypergrid, and the Hypergrid is a system that actually connects all the virtual world grids that are authored using the Open Simulator platform together. So instead of just being able to jump between destinations on one virtual world grid, you can actually jump from one world to another, keeping your inventory and your costumes and everything else like that. There are similar worlds. You may remember Second Life from back in the day. Well, it's still going, 25 years later or something. It's very much a prototype. If you know that you will know how this works, except that we are not the closed garden that Linden Labs operate. Anyway, that's the gist of what we're doing, and sort of we got a very fascinating guest, or guests plural, I should say today. Which exemplifies some of the really weird stuff you can actually do in these virtual worlds. So, without further ado, I better tell you what date it is. I do forget that. 26th of May. Yeah, May. That's right. Of the year 2024. You got the century right. And yeah, my name is Mal Burns. And to my right, I'm pleased to welcome my right hand man. He fiddles with knobs and he's always sitting. He's basically the audio-visual whiz behind this program. It's none other than James Atlloud. Welcome, James.
Oh, thank you, Mal. Wow, a whiz. I'll have to add that to my credentials at the end of my name.
Good idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you can
Thank
even
you.
credit me.
Yep.
Sir James Whiz, Mr.
Yes.
Whiz, or something like that.
Yeah, it works.
Okay, to give you a title for that. Okay, and then I have my two guests this week. I have Farstar Enoch, who is actually bravely up very early for us. He's in Australia, where it's very early morning, and he's actually come here to actually more than anything to help my other guest explain a few things as well. I also have Bloom Peters, a main guest, who she used to be part of well, you may know her better as Cutella Aris, I think it was, wasn't it, Bloom?
Yeah, cutie or la artist. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's all
Okay. Anyway,
amusement rides and amusement parks are usually under that name. People would know her from that.
right.
Also
Also,
known
Bloom
as
Peters.
Kulila Artis, creator of Winkstropia Grid. Nice to meet you all.
There we are. Perfect voice. As you can probably imagine, that is Bloom actually has to use, for technical reasons, she has to use text to voice. And it means if I ask her a question, she will type the reply. It will come to you as sound, but there is a bit of delay because her reply won't come till after she's typed, if you see what I mean. But she is used to it, so I think we'll go with this fairly well. Yeah, so welcome both of you to the show. Um,
Thank you.
we're diving straight in with you this week because we haven't got Hypergrid happenings or anything particular to prelude with. We'll have that for no day. So we have a mixture of stuff here in the form of old videos, new videos, blog posts, and everything else. So we would often at this point be talking about Hypergrid Safari. And I've got 3 pages here, which are from Thursday Ember's blog, of course, hgsafari.blogspot.com. And the first one here is called Cornflakes in Bloom. And well, it's wonderful. Cornflakes is a tribute that happens once a year in on the Hypergrid in various different grids, and it's a tribute to a creator who's passed, unfortunately, called Cornflakes. And so he's full of very primary colours and things like that, but rather appropriately, if I got that right, Crescent Bounty, is that the name of the instrument itself?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
The whole band, I guess, is called Crescent Melody. Really?
Right. The whole band of yes, there's script robots too. Okay.
She keeps adding instruments and songs, and it gets more complex, and then she upgrades it and invents more mixers and MIDI machines, and so it's an expanding universe.
Yeah.
I guess.
We'll find out a bit later just how you do it all, actually, or rather, she does. Flicking through the photos we got here, this is sort of what we got up to when we visited Safari. This is the first Safari we visited, I think. I may have got my dates mixed up. It's the top one on the list here. And as you can see, not only is your music machine here, but all to build the instruments and everything else, it's all rather like Cornflakes was anyway in primary colors. So they sort of mix together rather well, these two events. There you are in your this avatar is pretty much the same as that one anyway. So there we go. There you are showing off for us. And right, let's find something. Unfortunately, the long shots here that have everything in it, so sort of everything's quite small because there's a lot of it. Basically, Bloom is here, and she'll tell us a bit more about how she does it. I think later we'll cue her, and then she can just take over. Talking about it for a minute or two. There's an array of sort of musical instruments that look like cats. There's like a whole orchestra of cats at the back there, and then there's all these other instruments, and they're actually programmed to it goes live, and the instruments are actually playing live in the virtual world. There's no streaming going on or anything like that. I mean, she's sitting in a director's chair, sort of keying in the tunes. And there's a polite notice we will probably see on one of the pictures saying, "Do not disturb me during the performance." So there are the Safari crowd here. Sort of, there's of course with the snowflakes, cornflakes hat, snowflakes indeed. Oh yes, this is it. When they're singing solos, they're jumping up like this. But when they do choruses, it's quite a. They don't sound like cats. I hasten to add, although that would go down.
Yeah, cause it uses HUDs and takes over my controls, so typing is impossible.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's basically unlike now where you're controlling your voice by typing, you're actually controlling a HUD in World here that is it cues the MIDI files, doesn't it? I suppose. Right, well, I'll come back to that. Yeah, there we are. Cannot reply.
The software uses my keyboard and mouse to send commands to it via a PC software.
Okay. Is this is the PC software something you've built yourself, or is it something you've modified to use? I'm sure many people are keen to.
I created the PC software to make it work with OpenSim.
Lovely. Right. So you've got an advantage there because you've got a unique interface for the.
I call it Crescent Studio.
There we are again.
Open Studio, the code she's written to operate the MIDI files in OpenSim.
Right, Open Studio for OpenSim, indeed. Are you working on that with other people at all, or at the moment is it your own sort of private software, private project? Meanwhile, I'm going to
No, this is a solo project. I've been working on it for 15 years now.
That is a long time, but I must say the results kind of show, I think.
Yeah.
It all started
been
at
working on it since,
Oregon.
Have I
sorry,
got...
Glenn, say that again. I was just going to add she's been working on it ever since I first met her, which was about 18 years ago. I mean, in the corporate world, which will not be named, as we call it, and that's where we met. And I found her building an instrument in the middle of my sandbox, which I used to run for people to come and have a safe place to do what they wanted. And Yeah, a friend brought it there, and I found her building a strange object and wanted to know what it was, and it was because it looked like a piece of sculpture, but it was actually an instrument. And then she was waiting on a piece of code, which I
hooked up to a piano via MIDI commands and live played by me, which I often do.
That's right. She was building a piano, and that's how we met. And she's been working on various solo, standalone instruments ever since. And now it's
via a real piano.
Yeah, well, no need to buy a real piano. It's really good. She has organs. She's made an organ and pianos which people can play in world.
Yeah.
So if you don't have space in real life, IRL, to have a piano, you don't need to. And if you can't afford one, doesn't matter. You can
just come in and fiddle. That's wonderful.
Right? You have your own piano and play it live via your own keyboard, you see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yes, I've learning a bit of piano in my old age, but I got the real thing.
So require any skill to use the machine.
Mm. This animated GIF, by the way, it's on repeat, obviously being a picture. That's one of Thursday's, but again, it's all those Safari guys on one of your moving buses. James is on there, and we saw you in the last picture, Fast Star. I recognise the.
Oh yes, here we are.
The head. I keep thinking it's headgear, but it's actually on your back, of course, isn't it?
On my back, and it's a sort of it's also headgear. It communicates to the staff. Right. So there's an entire concept behind it. Yes, it's called the Nexus crown, and communicates to the staff. It looks like a halo or a crown, but it's actually an antenna. You see.
Secrets, eh? Well, this is Safari on the. It suddenly got rather rainy here, actually, for some reason when we were on the Safari, but somehow we managed to stay dry. I'm not sure how that feat was.
Blue lights weather. We like weather. Yeah. Weather's good.
There you are again, and here I presume this is Jessica. No, maybe it could be fair.
Yeah, so this like cherry. I think this town is Gardenia. So everything's based around.
That's Thursday anyway. And there's me before in my COVID mask before I got this new avatar sorted. Okay, where are we? Right. Now this is we moved on from the town to this huge fairground, which until today I've forgotten they were linked. Obviously you've got helter skelters and dodgem cars and things. I remember. Yeah.
If Mel takes off his hat, he will burn. He won't be the same.
I'm sorry.
That was funny. Yeah, that's good.
I won't repeat it. People thought that one, didn't they? Yeah, maybe people just didn't catch it, which is okay. Now, Witchtropia, this is, of course, is the main of your. This is the name of your actual grid, so to speak. So the town, the fairground, and also have different names for the regions. This is back to the tunes thing. To be honest, this was a later visit. Where you've done a lot more finesse on the instrument, if I like. But I think they're about a year apart. I think there's a wandering through. All these instruments move as you play them, so you're playing them via a HUD. But they're like, you know, what those old electric pianos that had actually the new synthesizer.
My girl booty.
They have a demo, you know, and on the real thing, the keys will move as the demo is playing, you know. So these instruments on the ground here, and the cats, they kind of move like the piano keys move on one of those old machines, don't they? It's funny to watch and very clever.
Were they called violas? Is that their technical name?
I don't know. Yeah, pianola, maybe something like that. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I remember the things themselves, and they used to be they were quite old things. I guess it was sort of days of mechanical, steampunky type organs and things. But yeah, it was just funny because I've seen it in movies where, you know, they have a ghost playing a piano in an old house. Because you can't see the ghost, you can just see the piano moving by itself.
It was known as a pianola self-playing piano.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's something like that. Piano. It sounds like the right.
Pianola, yeah. Pianola.
Well, there's a moody shot with a bit of lighting there. From it's quite fun to pan out there because you've got the all this wonderful movement outside, higher up and stuff, which you don't really see when you're on the ground unless you're really looking. There's an example too. That would have been. Well, I'm out of tune already, but there you go.
Every instrument plays live with the music that it's actually, or the song it's playing. So
we will see that in a minute, actually. Hiding probably. And then
in IRL as well, if they were based there.
So I'm going to. Those are all the. Oh, did I do this?
Crescent melody is my biggest passion to create a real working band with music, and I have future plans for a even better one.
Would you see a band where everybody has a HUD-driven instrument and you would play it together? Is that the idea? So you'd have like a drummer HUD and a guitar HUD, and then everybody would play together and try and stay tuned.
For each instrument, I guess. Okay.
Over in the other place, there's a band I sort of kind of know the bassist quite well. He's over here in London.
It is possible, and yes, Crescent Melody will eventually be a product for people to buy and everyone can play at the same time.
This, I'll give you an idea of how this is Phil Dart. This is you playing a song by, it's actually called Happy, and it's by somebody called Pharrell Williams. But it gives us the idea of, what these instruments sort of sounds like. So you can see the cats are warming up here.
I mean, it's quite a feat to get them all to play, all synchronized together at the right timing and everything.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about it, is that it's not only an electronic instrument that's been played in World, but you've got all these mostly instruments and Pussycat that are all, they've all animated in time, in tune. So you could, when you can see, clap, 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 and well, you know what I mean. There used to be a wonderful Machinima series, many years ago. I can't even remember what it's called now, but I used to collect them. And it was a similar sort of thing, except that it was real live music and computer animated drums and things. And
are you thinking of Pipe Dreams, Mal?
Yes, yeah. In fact, back in the day, we used one of them on our Real World webcast show way back when, as a kind of thing. Yeah, Pipe Dream, that was it.
All the sounds are in World, so there is no streaming or effects to the sounds added. Timing is critical, and thus all HUDs must be synchronized, and no HUD is allowed to process after they all communicate together as a team. It is impossible for it to go out of sync.
Very good. Now, I wish I knew how to. I wish I had a gadget that made it impossible to go out of sync.
Yeah, I need one of those.
Sync is one of the things we're always challenged by. When you're doing conferences and events, can the stream coming in be?
It can lag and slow down, but they always never go out of sync.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's lovely.
And Bloom was always fighting always fighting with the limitations of the actual world that she was building in.
Yeah.
There's a thing
Internet
called
skips can make it seem like it is out of sync, but it always catches up.
That's where OpenSim, she really enjoys OpenSim because the corporate world was, would limit resources. So her instruments would break.
Yeah.
So she could only go a certain distance in the corporate world, Second Life. That's why one of the reasons I guess she moved to the OpenSim, where a lot of creative people have gone, and of course I followed. We just went together, really. Yes.
Here's another one. The Cold Heart OpenSim MIDI Crescent Band. I'll be cutting a few of these short so we can make progress with our visuals, so to speak. And this one, apparently, I see in the lower right-hand side here. Then presumably this is part of the HUD that you use, Bloom, when you're actually playing.
I usually hide the HUDs, but those are it.
Yeah. Yeah, we all hide our HUDs. Don't want to give the game away, do we?
Each HUD has its own commands and instrument to control.
Right, yeah, because I see you've got a synth, you've got harmony, you've got a bass track, a drum kit, and plugging sounds, but there's a lot more going on here than just those 5, I think.
There is currently 22 HUDs.
Ah, well, that is a lot more going on.
Yeah, one for each instrument. It's a pretty amazing thing, really.
Do you ever actually have all 22 HUDs or whatever is on screen at once?
There will be 128 of them.
Oof, wow.
All right. And what happens if we want to see the screen? No, I know what you mean. So you can set them off and then hide them, kind of thing. Okay.
No screenshot of them all yet.
This one seems to be called just Crescent Melody. This is the night. And then another one filmed at night here.
I will have all the standard MIDI instruments.
Good bit of percussion on this one. Yeah, there you go. I remember when we first saw this, we were just so wowed that it was all possible that all this was happening in World. I mean, we're back a few times to know what to expect, and it's still just great.
It didn't just all, this entire Crescent Melody just didn't materialize all at once. Like, as Bloom said, she's been working on it for 15 years. I probably met her about 18 years ago, and she was working on single standalone instruments, mainly pipe organs and things like that. So it slowly built up over the decade. Now she knows how to run 20 simultaneously. I
presume, therefore, from me, you were talking about time now. I presume you started this. You must have started it in Second Life, the other place, as we call it now.
That's right. And the corporate world, which will not be named, as we call it. Yes.
Yeah.
4 years ago, we were stuck on Zengen, which was terrible for this machine. When Y-Engine came out, it was a game changer.
Wow. Good to know.
All right, we just something in the studio has just been changed to Y-Engine recently. I forget what it was. We didn't realize we were on a region which was still using X-Engine. Yeah. Oh, it's our HUDs. It's our lip movement HUDs and things. Talking of which, I don't know if it's
Y-Engine is 200% faster than X-Engine.
200. Wow.
Right, that's a big difference.
Yeah, so as new inventions get built to improve virtual worlds, Bloom has been able to utilize it, and her instruments could grow. She's always been limited by what's been available. So really.
It's so fast this machine can beat Metallica in a drumming competition.
Awesome.
Okay. We first met in my region called Far Star New Earth in SL.
Metallica,
And,
not so much hyperdrumming.
hmm.
The one don't really follow much heavy metal, but the one that I think, what's the name? Not Uriah. Not Uriah. There's one band, a famous band, not Metallica, who their drummer had an accident. I don't know, a car accident, something 20, 30 years ago. But he still plays the drums. He's got a special, sort of thing on his arm, and he's learned to play with, with basically all the rolls with one hand, and
Yeah.
I forgot.
Medical technology is pretty good.
Yeah, I forget which the name of the band is because he's been doing that for about 30 years, and it was really early in their life that it happened. Right, okay, I'm going to move. I'm going to move out of this folder because these are the ones I've sort of downloaded from YouTube largely. I'm going to move to all these recordings. Most of them are rather short, but I'm going to be jumping around in them. These we're now back on the safari visits, and this is film that I took, silent film, mostly silent film. I hasten to add during the safaris. In fact, actually, if it's okay with you, I'm going to stop that, and I'm going to first of all, right, we did your photo. No, we didn't do your photos in the end, did we? Right. These are the photos you sent me, which maybe you'd like to tell us what they are first of all. The first one was called Castle. Now, again, this is in the greater Winkstopia region, of course.
Yeah, there are a lot of regions in Winkstopia. That's Bloom will be able to answer, but that's Althea, a model of it's a huge scale model. It's a scale castle of Althea. If anyone knows the Winx universe in real life,
the heart of Winkstopia, my home and the home of Bloom's castle in Domino. Althea is a separate sim.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, it's for sim.
Then we have the castle organ. Now, of course, this is presumably one of those earlier instruments we were talking about.
You see the pipes behind it, the amazing pipes with the clock on the top.
The pipes.
Domino Castle houses my favorite organ that is fully working, of course.
It's amazing. You can sit there and play it yourself if you like. Anyone can sit there on the chair and play the organ.
I'll have to pop over there. The moment I touch the keys, I will crash the sim.
It has a mystical sound.
It's an amazing work. It's all the detail on the actual just the object itself, let alone that it actually really plays. It's a pretty amazing.
Yeah, it really fits. It actually very much fits it would, I say, fit the steampunk aesthetic as well as your own. It's very yeah.
So Bloom is right into organs in real life. So these are all based on probably famous, inspired by famous organs around the world, pipe organs, etc.
Yeah.
And this is the Winkstopia grid?
Yeah, this is all in the Winkstopia grid. That's right.
300 hours.
Yeah. Even where we met, the region we met in Second Life, my region, Far Star New Earth, is now live there in Winkstopia as well. With all my artworks.
Those are my dolls. I loved dolls since I was a child and use a 3D scanner to get them here.
Oh, no.
Oh, is that like an iPhone app? The 3D scanner, or is it something more? James knows. I was showing him in real life at one point. My iPhone.
No, I use an expensive handheld laser scanner.
Oh boy, okay. Well, I love this one on the far right too. It's very doll-like, but something it's got something other something.
So that's Claudine. It's Claudine Wolf is her name. You see her fangs? She's a daughter of a werewolf.
Indeed.
They can be insanely more detailed, but then it won't make it into OpenSum. So I used a basic quality setting.
Yeah, it's basically limited by the technology at the moment. But she's always at the edge of technology.
But now I've seen the fangs, I don't think I'll be dating that woman. But there you go.
Each doll could have real details and a 5 GB size in the day.
Oh, 5 gig for, well, I'm not surprised.
Really. And all these people here, they're all from the Winx universe, which is a real universe in real life.
Is it?
Yeah. You see, so these are all that Bloom Peters was a human who lived on Earth,
My
and she
girl.
didn't know it was a
Winx
hybrid,
Club.
a half fairy, half human, and she finds out that she's half fairy. And
I have a TV series called which is Winx.
That's right.
That's still fiction, but there's a real life thing to do with it. Or do you mean the TV series when you say real life?
I just mean the TV, which is a whole universe in the TV series, you see,
Right.
which is now a movie. So there's Bloom Peters, there's Techna, there's all the characters there from Winx, and Gardenia. That's the town here.
That's it.
where
There's a real-life Winx Club show called Fate: The Winx Saga.
That's it. Yeah, I've got that.
That's where Gardenia is. That town is where Bloom lived in the series. So Bloom Peters here, she's built it and brought the entire thing alive in 3D in the virtual world.
Oh, God, I'll have to rewatch the. Well, it was a TV series, wasn't it? It wasn't
Gardenia town home of Bloom and her parents in the green apartment.
That's right. So she's built the entire world.
It is located on Earth.
Same with her avatar. That's Bloom Peters.
Yeah.
From Winx, you see. Yeah.
This is your own shot, Crescent Melody again.
Me dressing up as my favorite fairy.
Now, here's the crew, I suppose. You're not in this one. Farstar is here, and Ariel Popstar.
He's friend.
Yum Yum's here as well. She's in the audience today. But that's the gang. There's Bougie as well. Close
I'll explain
buddy.
them all.
Okay. Wait for him to explain.
Farstar Enoch has been my best friend for multiple years and has helped me through a few real-life situations. We are very good friends, and we love playing virtual reality games together.
True. All true.
Yum Yum Komani. Yum Yum, my guest here, is my OpenSim partner. She helps motivate me and support me through anything. We do many technical projects together on Unity and Unreal Engine and play a lot of games together.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Carly Spencer. Carly has been one of my biggest supporters in OpenSim, and without her I would not even have Winkstropia. She employed me for many years and I raised money that way to buy it. For this she gets a massive thanks.
Yeah, she has a lot of commissions. She commissions Bloom to build a lot of virtual worlds for her, Carly.
Ariel Popstar is one of my best friends. She inspires me with her avatars and art on her avatar.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
I've come across Ariel a few times, actually. I think she made, a few years ago, there was a competition for...
She spends a crazy amount of time on her avatars, and she is very good at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she was part of it. We had Fuchsia Nightfire on last week, oddly enough, and we were remembering the Festavi, where a lot of people, I think she was one of them, actually contributed some very interesting avatars. They were quite a few years ago now. It's funny how time flies. And right, the final picture is New Earth.
That's my home. Yeah, that's
Hey gamer girl I met in real life, and we have current access to see another. She is my only RL friend as far as being able to do anything together.
Wonderful, wonderful.
That's true.
I forget. Yeah, you're on the East Coast in America, aren't you? I think you told me. Yeah. So, I know you're not fast on. So.
I'm only 16,032 kilometers away.
Winx Club. She has been my hero and emotional support fairy. I depended on her to get through a lot of things in life. I also carry a doll of her everywhere I go for emotional support. Since I have autism.
Yeah. Sort of an emotional, what do they call them?
Oops. Avatar? No, I don't want it.
No,
Support dog.
animal. She has a
Yeah,
support
yeah.
support
Oh,
dog.
it's
I guess.
my support dog. Yeah, sure. Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's New Earth, Farstar New Earth, where we first met in Second Life. And all those objects there you see are my builds, were my sculptures. It's all full of my art and everything. So that's in Winkstopia Grid as well. Lots of things to do there. That was that last shot.
Right. Yeah,
That's
that was
where I build it up.
okay.
So there are versions of sculptures and artwork I build in real life, and then I've built them in the virtual world as well, versions of them.
Okay, the first time I filmed here didn't work. This is back when we came to Safari. This may have been the first visit, and this is just silent film I took while we were there. And of course, like everything else, it takes a while to start up. On Helter Skelter. I'll move it forward a bit so it looks faster than it really is.
Yeah, one of Balloon's amazing roller coasters.
I think we got going in the end. Or did we? I know, there's still everybody piling on.
Farstar New Earth. It all started here in the beginning 16 years ago. I randomly ran into this sim made by Farstar Enoch in Second Life. We lived there for years and he makes cool art and amazing drawings in real life. He is skilled in jewelry and sculptures. He is a very underrated artist and I hope he gets the recognition he deserves.
Well, probably when I pass away, I will. You know.
Oh, that's always the case, isn't it? I keep looking back.
Once I pass away, yeah, everyone will come and visit then, you see. Yes.
Everybody come and steal my library.
It's one of the main positives about passing away. Really. Yeah.
It doesn't bother about the legacy, I think.
I'll make sure to give you your first patch of flowers before you die, don't worry.
Thank you very much. Yes.
So as
Yeah,
you
that's
can
where
see,
everything started really in New York.
it wasn't the easiest first thing to film there, but you can see the complete network that is on that roller coaster. So keeping track of that bus with everybody on it was very difficult. But this shows the extent of the whole sort of fairground style region.
It was amazing watching her build a roller coaster. She has a machine which, eventually, she had a machine built that lays the tracks for her automatically, an automatic track layer, and you can just watch this machine laying tracks.
People thought I stole that green ride from a game, but in fact I wrote a script to res tons of green pieces to build it for me.
Amazing.
I'd love to see that at work, actually. I mean, I can imagine it would almost need an artificial builder to do that roller coaster ride, because it's so, you can see the surface bits where the roller coaster is, but
I then took the build and mesh optimied it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, there's a water slide, working water slide as well.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Pretty impressive stuff. Oh, that's pretty. Just pretty. I remember that. Yeah.
So it's good now. I mean,
all these rides are inspired by rides in video games, but the mesh I made in Google SketchUp.
Oh, right. Does Google SketchUp still exist? Or has it been? You never know with Google. They sort of have these wonderful toys for a while, and then they suddenly take them away.
There's Bloom Peters again from the Winx universe.
Yeah.
It does, and it's the only one I use since it's easy and I'm a pro at it now.
Right. Okay, and there's the group. There's James, of course. Cherry is over. There you are, of course, on Safari. There's Farstar as well. Probably 3 or 4 Thursdays around now, I should think. There's certainly quite a lot of Thursdays. Right, this was, this is another one. Oh, this is very short. It might just be it might just have been a splash screen I kept. Right. This one. Oh, yes. This is where we all boarded the bus. It's actually it looks a bit sort of clunky because of it, like Lego-y type bus and whatever, and because it's long when it turns the corners. But actually, when I was looking at that from the air yesterday, you know how some people script these things and the bus will try and turn a corner and it would go off the road a bit. It's not that well scripted, but this is actually from the air. It's perfectly scripted. It never touches the curve of the road. It stays
The
within
viewer
the
causes the lag of the camera when not focused on your avatar.
Yes, it's very precise in scripting and building. And unlike a lot of sims, it always used to make me a bit sad when I used to pop around the corporate world. There would be these amazing
when you left click hold on your name while riding it. Firestorm does not lock the camera to the ride properly.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually, for something like this, I would probably have option clicked on some being the vehicle, even maybe while the avatar's riding it, and when I get bored,
One thing about Gardenia, it was actually alive. Like there are people driving around, there are people walking around. If you bump into someone in the park, the avatar will say something to you, like watch it.
Next time you try it, left click hold on your name tag while riding it and you will see it will be butter smooth.
Left click on your name tag. Oh, okay.
Whereas a lot of cities in the corporate world and places are just completely empty, really, if you're not there, aren't they? Or is it there?
Yeah. I mean, I actually, I often say to people, I quite like abandoned places. If you've got a lovely, sort of wonderful countryside build or something, and you can get on a horse and then just truck around on your own, admiring the builds. That's fine by me. I don't need to be in a gang. I can always take film, but but that's just one side of it, of course. I mean, but it's not always a bad thing when you come across a deserted region, as long as it's worth being on,
Oh, of course.
That is a scripted hoverboard that can ride smoothly on prims made specially.
Sorry, I zoomed forward a bit there, and I think I missed whatever that. Okay.
It can do tricks and spins and all sorts.
There's always something to do in one of Bloom's regions, same in New Zealand. Instead of just, not just walking around and looking at the scenery.
For sure. Well, even driving a car, for example, sort of every couple of seconds there was another actual character walking, and turning one corner or he's doing something and whatever. And somewhere we'll see it when I'll go to the ones I actually filmed yesterday, because somewhere in here in this little part bit, there's even a sort of band. In fact, I think it's
in fact, I will be opening a Simboard arena soon, where people can pretend to be Tony Hawk.
Yeah, nice. That's great.
Right, where's the film I took today? This is not. Oh, actually, it's probably these ones. Oh no, that's not working. Might be in 26th of May. Oh, there they are. Right, so Gardenia #1. I'm going to play these in full because they're quiet and we can talk over them. It's about 6 minutes for this and same for the next. So that's your welcome sign when you go to Gardenia. Both these films are Gardenia, by the way, with not Crescent Melody or the others. So let's power that up, as it were. And three motorbikes going together, but nobody on them. Sorry, you can see that from the air, actually, but that actually I spent quite a bit of time up in the air.
So that's what I mean by it. Just gives you the feeling of a living city, a living town, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
But you may be the only human walking around. The others could be NPCs, but you don't really know, do you?
No. I mean, well, you told me. I asked you this. I asked Bloom this the other day. Actually, they're actually they're not actually NPCs. They're animesh. Most of these, aren't they?
But and if you bump into them, they may say, "Watch it, be careful."
As you see a name tag and they animesh.
So
because I was filming silently, of course, I didn't actually experience the idea of talking to it, bumping into one.
Oh yeah.
I take your word for it, because everything you do is just so highly scripted, and I think, well, you've got people wandering around, you got filmmakers wandering around, you got all this stuff going on. You say, you mean they talk to you too?
Yeah. I used to bump into one on purpose and go, "Watch it." Careful. Things like that.
Oh, there's the bites again. Yeah, they're waiting for somebody to get on them. They're just driving around.
A Easter egg is that the NPC walking can sometimes say hi to you if you walk past them, or they can take a seat on a bench or start running. They also avoid vehicles.
So I was sitting on a bench once, and one walked up and sat down beside me. You see, and I was like, "Oh." So yeah, you're not too sure who's real, who's not, which is very interesting, because like I was saying, most worlds you go to, beautiful scenery, but there's no life, which is enjoyable to a certain
They
extent.
can see you sitting and come take a sit with you.
I'm just astonished, the sort of you working on this stuff for 18 years and finessing it over that period of time. But you have to, I suppose. I have seen. I think my interpretation of corporate stuff is a bit different from yours, Farstar. But I mean, I've seen people set up projects where they offer you HUDs and scripting devices where you can, you kind of work on the side on the project, and then you press a button and it reses, in quite complex ways. But it's all a bit soulless. When it's done that way, it's sort of it's like the AI thing. Build me a city, no people, please.
That's what I mean. Like, I used to go hang out in Blade Runner City in Second Life a lot, because it's one of my favorite movies, and I like that genre. But there was never anybody there except me. There was no characters walking around or
I'm
vehicles
working on a
driving.
one-click city random builder too.
Yeah.
And some of these buildings, of course, aren't real enough that you can go in. The surround or the skyscrapers is largely just decor to enclose it. But and these colours, when I first saw this from the sky, I was like, "Oh, there's a colourful building. Oh, there's an even more colourful building." Yeah, I think of it like Toy Town. There used to be a
very cartoon and anime inspired from the actual series, I think.
It reminds people of The Sims.
Maybe I've never used The Sims, oddly enough, but yeah.
And it kind of has a very simple, happy, gives off a very simple, happy sort of feeling. It's a very like that. Very, compared to real life, you go in there to escape or complement your real life, and those colors and style, the simplistic style, gives off a very happy, sort of uplifting sense, feeling when you're in there, I think, myself.
The colors are designed to make people calm and happy.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They're very they're not hallucinogenic colors.
Did you find the dog yard?
Sorry? Sorry.
Did you find the dog yard?
The dog yard. I found a dog. In the second part, in a minute,
there is a dog daycare there.
Oh, you have to tell me whether I got to it or not. There were one of these central bits. It might be that one or another one had a band sort of playing, and there was something flying around. I couldn't catch it, but I caught the dog. So the dog was my camera for a while. Don't know whether that's the.
There's a party going on in the town square by the look of it. Always something going on there.
Yeah. This was just yesterday, and I thought, very busy, as you say.
A continuous 24/7 party.
Have you ever tried a thing where the obviously people here are moving? There's a party in the park. There's cars going around and what have you. But presumably there's a sort of rhythm to this, like oh, hang on, let me start part two. You know, it's sort of like the path that each car goes round is, but you know, it turns here, it turns there, it turns everywhere. But eventually, I presume it comes back to a start point and repeats its cycle. And I've always been fascinated by those. It's something very different, but in a way, regions where they are spring for a few months, then they turn to summer for a few months, then they turn to winter. It's always the same thing. But it changes
on an invisible track that guides it.
Sorry, I have to say it again. On a track.
It loops on an invisible track that guides it.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I imagined. Yeah. Yeah. It probably looks more busy from the air than it does when you're actually down there. Although there are enough cars, I must admit, to.
So far in Gardenia, there has been 0 accidents. World record.
Ah. It's the way it turns. They also.
Yeah.
When you see the bus turn the corner from the air, it really shows that it never leaves that road. You know.
We'll have to script in some accidents, I think.
Yes, I know. What would it be without a fatality here and there? But no, we've got to keep it calm and soothing. Don't want people running off and scared that they're going to get run over. You know? I've actually heard that on Safari. You know, a lot of sims have trains. You know, they like building train stations and railways.
Okay, there is one car that managed to jump the track, so I left it there with a fire truck.
Very good. Yeah, the railway. I've actually seen somebody stand on the railway track, and the train comes along, and instead of hitting them, they just go through it. And they didn't understand why they hadn't been knocked off the track. Funny. Oh, there's a fire going on. Fire brigade. Yeah, a lot of uniform avatars as well.
That's the crashed car.
Oh, it was right. We didn't get this. This, of course, is where I just decided. Right. Well, I'll be the car, and I'll camera log on the car. So probably a bit too long. Actually, it's a bit repetitive after a while. But when there's so much going on around, I thought, well, I can't go wrong if I lock on the car for 3 or 4 minutes, because we're going to see stuff happening in the background.
The Bloom is built a lot.
Each car is 1 prim, so the wheels couldn't animate.
Right.
One of my favourites of her builds in New Earth is when the first Mars landing took place. Bloom built the entire Mars rocket, the entire Mars rover, and the landing vehicle as well.
Did you find the secret Men in Black headquarters?
No, I don't think I did. I didn't get to go into, because obviously I'm in camera mode here, and I obviously did peek in through windows and things. So this is a nice little sort of club venue. Very spacious and not much in it, but it just has that feel. I like the architecture of it, like the windows and the.
There is a Man in Black HQ. They're hidden well. LOL.
There's a piano. I didn't try it, but I bet you it plays.
And even NASA was impressed with her build of the Mars rover. I just thought it is.
That's a standard piano I found with built-in music.
Oh, right. I know those. I had some in the other place. It didn't move with me. This is when I start coming down a bit and looking at. Yeah, now this is that bar. There's barely any seats left there, but you know, just looks like it's actually it's a cheeky kind of design. But I mean, with the colours, it just fits. And I saw that and I wondered, is Safari been there? Isn't that the leopard skin? So is this leopard skin, or is it just, am I seeing things?
Oh, and what, around the fountain or on?
Yeah. The texture of the fountain looked like Safari's.
That random cube is a new particle I'm working on.
Yeah, here we are. That's just so many of them. Mind you, they're not all moving up there. Oh, here we are. There's the band.
You wearing your dragon scale armor.
The band plays on.
Yeah,
There
you
is
also
now-
build very detailed objects. Like,
That's an interesting keyboard drum kit, or whatever it is. That looks fun. Oh, now here we are. But eventually, I've started to chase the dog, as you can probably tell. It took me a
Here
while.
looks like Malburns.
Yeah. What, the dog? Come on, dog. I want to catch you. I did get it in the end, as we probably find out. I just had to see it. Are we going to get
Dog
that?
actually chases the drone.
Oops, missed him. Oh yeah, yeah, the drone. I couldn't get a grip on that one. But I did get the dog in the end. I think I was still filming. And the
That guy flies it.
is controlling the. Oh, here he is. He's jumping up and there. I think I caught him. Yep. Now I'm following him. And look, of course, he just goes and jumps through everything with my camera on his tail. So sometimes it's great fun just doing something like that. All right, okay, we're probably a bit getting to near the end of this piece, but this gives us, yeah, as you say, I mean, the mixture of camera moving, everything's moving.
That's what he's a good boy.
Everything's moving here so wonderfully.
Yeah, so there are quite a few regions to visit when you go to Wingstopia. There'll always be something to do.
Yeah.
In New York,
You were asking me if I'd seen a couple of places. This is coming to the end of this bit of film, so I presume there's something here I missed. You said there was a. Did I find something? Well, if I missed it.
Men in Black HQ.
Oh yeah. Now, is that in the town here, or is that somewhere else?
I'm surprised there's no Mars Rover in there. Bloom.
It plays the Men in Black song if you go into it.
Right. Yeah, I've just found little bits like this that I could get into, but it really felt like an outdoor experience, for want of a better word. Roaming around and seeing all the people in the squares and parks and things. And there we are, back to the sign we started with. Yeah. Right. Okay. So let me find something else to just.
I share most of what I make, of course.
I would like to ask you about this one. This is one that we chatted about before we came on air a little bit. This is not
Studio.
you. This is not the thing you've got built at the moment, but this you pointed out as an example, didn't you? Kind of the way it will work. And this is actually video. So if I pluck this, you can get the idea of the different instruments. This could be music altering software but it's all happening in World, of course. We're seeing the end result rather than the actual method of controlling it, but it's definitely musical.
That's my instrument testing wall where I can test all the instruments before they go into crescent melody.
Right, okay.
Yeah, you can see the meow seams there, so that's all the cats that play.
There is a mistake. This will show it.
How many instruments? How many instruments do you use in total? I mean, you've got 10 or so there by the look of it, but I mean, there are so many sounds. I
will be using 128 instruments in total.
Right.
Eventually.
Okay, I thought it might be quite a big number. He says.
How many are in
so that you can make any music in the world?
present melody now? You've probably got 22 to 30, I'd say.
Yeah, drop the volume on
Counting
that.
individual cats, of course.
Each song uses around 16 of them or less generally.
Okay.
So I've covered obviously the town and the bigger fairground kind of build, and of course this Crescent Melody, as I'm calling it. Are there any other things that in the Wistopia region that I should lack or look at maybe another time, or that I missed? Or are those the three sort of main regions?
Well, you can always come by and visit New Earth as well. It's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
big. Has lots of things to look at and do. You can even ride Bloom's highly detailed build of the Mars rover around the
Let's
place.
save it for a follow-up because it's a work in progress and I won't ruin the surprise, hee hee.
There is somebody else I know who's been on the show now and again, Leah Lobo. She's an educator, but she's involved with, I think it's, I don't know whether, yeah, actually, I think it's Virtual Harmony or something. I think they are in OpenSim. But they've got like a build of
Crescent
Mars.
Melody
Not the
2.0,
current,
going to be unbelievable.
yeah, it's not the current Mars, but you know, it's sort of, it gives you the impression of.
The entire lander, the rocket would go up, the lander would detach, come down in the sim via the parachutes, just like happened in real life, and the lander would open, land, and drop onto the surface, and the rover would detach as well. NASA heard about it, NASA saw it, and were impressed and supplied her with the real life sounds.
You mentioned, yeah.
In Crescent,
It sounds like it would be a wonderful thing to come
or
in.
we may be moving on a machine hole. It plays music.
So there's also
The Mars one sounds like a wonderful place to come and film. You could almost make a movie out of the whole, because presumably it all follows a particular sequence.
Yeah, there's so many different builds to go through, but yeah, that's true. Yeah, so there's lots of places in Linkstopia to go and visit, the amusement park to Gardenia, there's another one there, Althea, or to New Earth. You can even go to New Earth and raise guns and shoot zombies if you really wanted.
This was one we saw a slide of, one of the slides you sent me, but this is
one of the
another
new instruments
working, yeah.
In Crescent Melody 2, a work in progress. The scenery will change with the music, or we may be moving on a machine while it plays music.
I call them sculptural instruments because they're really sculptures, even if when they're not playing their work, they're a sculpture.
Yeah.
They're functional as well.
Well, there's all sorts of things that can be built in real life. Like you could have, you could have a person walking around there, and there's a step on each one. It gives a different sound, And could the music? You're talking about changing aspects of the build. Could it change colors and even wind light or whatever those newfangled settings are? So you got the actual virtual environment totally moving with the music, as obviously the instrument.
It can change colors and things, and it will per song.
Right. So you could have like play a concert with 12 different pieces, and you could. The people watching you could actually even experience a sort of different environment for each piece. That kind of thing.
We might be sitting on a spider or some machine while he does his thing with the music.
Fair enough. All right. We looked at we did the did we do This Is the Night? I'm not sure.
Went through all the slides. I think there was 10 slides, I think.
Oh, I thought we'd done those. Right. I have them, I have them loaded up in where's it gone? Oh, crumbs, files, Wikipedia Cloud. Do you know what? Maybe your server's still down. Oh no, something's happening. There we are. Yeah. A bit slow, but nevertheless.
Present Melody ID love for everyone to have it. There will be a freebie limited edition machine with just the capability to play already made songs, while a separate machine will allow users to import MIDI files and make their own music, as well as an Inworld music writer.
Oh my. So you could have an Avatar Symphony Orchestra of sorts, couldn't you? Oh, we did look at the slides. So I looked at them in the image viewer. I didn't need to.
There's another one after that. Yeah, there's New Earth.
You can have a full band.
I
actually dropped that from the show earlier because it's for these SL type. The image is meant to be wider, isn't it? You film it you take it in a square and then put it on the prim and it stretches. I don't know.
I just took a photo of that. That's a photo I took yesterday while I was in New Earth.
Aye.
Some of my sculptures there. Some of my builds, drawings on the side. Yeah, etc., etc. One of Bloom's organs at the back.
Hang on, I've got to zoom. Okay,
those sculptures move, etc. But there's a few of they're all my works, my sculptures and versions of my sculptures from real life. That's where we first met in New Earth. That's where it all began.
I'm trying to zoom in on that, but it's not letting me, unfortunately. But I don't know why.
I don't know why. It's probably the format I had my camera in. I was using Firestorm. Who knows?
Right.
But a few of my sculptures. They're all my builds there. You can see in that photo, except for the pipe organ at the back. That's the Church of Cyber.
Is an important part of Wingstropia. It is my first in-world experience ever in SL. We have ported it to Wingstropia.
Yeah.
Nice.
So really, that's an extension of me and Bloom, but it's mostly me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so the other pictures show I actually removed that, but only because of the dimensions. Kind of look like.
I probably should have clicked on some setting in the photos. It's a bit of a shame, but anyway.
Yeah. And so it looks like the Wingstropia website, which is where those were just now, was back up, but as you saw, it loaded here very slowly. So I'm on it again now. So it's
usually up 24/7. Bloom runs the servers herself at home, but the DNS was down for some reason. Maintenance, I suppose. Not sure.
Yeah. No, these are the ones I was showing offline, but for some reason I didn't.
There's an overall view of New Earth there. Yeah, where we live.
I can't believe it. So I've well, obviously I haven't actually used up everything here. I loaded everything just in case. I don't think
Wingstropia is a public world, and we do not ever will have admins or owners. Everyone owns Wingstropia and is welcome to visit and do what they want within reason.
You'll be able to come and build in New Earth as well. Shoot is on
there is James enjoying your the immersion.
We have a zero owner or admin policy.
Will there be a central TP pad, Bloom, so people can TP to the different regions?
Okay, I found one with a bit of music to sort of play us out with, I think. Yeah, this, having talked to you about all this too, it's even more remarkable than what I saw, sort of the amount of work behind it and the experience you've got. And I don't know that's where you're going to go from here.
Plaza.
Sorry?
All regions are open, and the landing one is Wingstropia Plaza.
Right.
And from the plaza, people can access all the regions in Wingstopia, correct, Bloom?
I'll see if I know James had an Earl earlier, didn't he? For or Slill, or whatever we call it.
I've been putting on the grid address has been under
Okay,
lower thirds.
that's
Yep.
great. Okay, yeah. So,
Can
you know,
people teleport from the plaza to all regions in Wingstopia, Bloom? Is that still functional?
Yes, in Winx Plaza there is teleports to all Sims.
Fantastic.
great.
And I think there's a store there too. With all the freebies.
I'll have to go and look in the town again, actually, and see if I can find the what was it, the Men in Black house or something.
You might be taken away now. We may never see you again if the Men in Black get you.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the thing is, when you're filming, and especially when
Yeah, Man in Black is in the front of the building.
all right, I'll find it. I'll go back there and have another look. Now, anything we've sort of missed that is
It
coming
will
up?
be obvious as one of them walks around the block.
Okay.
Oh, well, the Men in Black, right? Okay. So, yeah, okay. Well, obviously, I can go back and be on foot and just enjoy it instead of filming it. Or I'll probably film it too. But anything new that you want to tell us about now coming up? I mean, obviously, this is an ongoing project, and
Yes,
adding another year to 18 years is probably nothing. But anything particular, basically.
Just waiting for Bloom to answer that one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Probably typing away.
I am working full-time on the next musical experience. Crescent Melody 2.
Nice.
2.0.
Also.
Okay. Also?
And there you are. First Star is dancing too.
Oh yes, I do get a bit out of control sometimes. Break into spontaneous.
Yeah,
I am
Leo.
refreshing all of my regions with modern mesh and art, so they will be changing soon, except Gardenia Town.
Right.
And
Leo.
I think I'm uploading my personality onto the grid so I can exist forever. I think that's happening next month. Trying that out.
Immortality.
One thing that was quite fascinating about this and slightly unpredictable was you had recommended places where we should stand to get the full effect of the music, but also my camera is always set to, so if I zoom into the source, the sound gets louder, if you see what I mean. So when I was filming some of this, it's a bit chaotic because I was getting a mixture of the sound from a given position and the sound from a moving camera.
Yes, all the sounds are central in the circle.
Yeah.
Inside
optimum. Sorry. Yeah, inside the circle for optimum audio, but you can still hear it everywhere else, of course.
Oh yeah. Well, nobody follows instructions anyway. Look at all the avatars went and danced on the instruments, not in a circle.
That's why the world's a mess. Nobody follows instruction.
Yeah.
But you can actually fix that problem by going to the debug menu and search for roll-off factor and change it from 1.0 to 0.1.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Oh, and what does that do? How does that do?
It's called audio level roll-off.
Yeah. That will change how you hear the audio as you're wandering around the sim.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
I'll have to investigate that. So I think that's
it will make sounds 100% loud anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere at one time.
All right. It's almost like I'm not there on this film. I'm too busy filming somewhere. Right. Okay. Well, I think we have to sort of round up, which was why I was asking you, what's coming up or anything particularly interesting.
If you bug that audio level roll off to 0.1 from 1.0, make sure to set it back once done.
Right. Okay. Viewers at home, do not try this unless you're prepared to roll back.
Yeah, well, you may not want to be able to hear sounds 100% from any distance all the
Yeah.
time. Of course.
Well, I used to love going to Lauren Tone does some stuff with music, and Dizzy Bat Joe used to do a lot at the other place, where objects that emitted sounds, and you were designed to walk around, and the balance of the sounds they were invisible, by the way, so the balance of the sounds changed as you moved around, and you sort of found that you could sort of mark out an invisible path for yourself where the music changed as you liked it, which was I used to love that kind of stuff.
And service is still down.
Yeah, it's a bit. I'm sure it'll be fixed. It's what the weekend's like. Sunday. They probably think, oh, nobody's attending the service.
They probably presume everybody's at church or something.
Yeah. Well, actually, it better be glad it wasn't in the UK here, because we have a bank holiday tomorrow, which is a Monday shut down. So there you go. Okay, well, the wolf has not howled, but I'm sure he will soon.
The newest region I'm working on is Black Mud Swamp.
Black Mud Swamp. Right, that sounds a bit scary. It's not a zombie build, is it? With swamps in it.
I mean, mud's good for you. It's good for your skin. Yeah.
Right, well, I'll let you two finish off if you've got anything that you're about to say. But I was just going to say I'm going to sort of wrap us up here, because we're out of time, but also it's just been amazing, listening to 18 years worth of wisdom.
All I needed to.
Yeah, I think so. I'd just like to say, Dawn, I would like to thank you for having us, Mel.
Yeah.
And James, and Inworld Review. That was all. And I hope all our explanations made sense.
Yes, it did. It's a bit of overlap with our voices, but we knew that beforehand that was going to happen. Yeah, I think we got.
Yes, thank you, and I look forward to the next one.
Indeed, yeah. Well, have you back?
Yeah, the people behind the scenes stories.
There's a tide down.
Again, you both talked at once there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's been absolutely great having you here. So we'll sort of call it a wrap now, and I hope to see you again soon.
Don't worry, stay frosty, my friends.
So I'm going to sign us out. I'm going to sign us out with something you will appreciate, and that is I always wish our viewers a very good morning, a very good afternoon, or a very good evening, or indeed a good tomorrow, depending on wherever and whenever you are. And I'm sure Star will appreciate the
It is 6 a.m. on a Monday morning here. Yes.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. Well, with us, it's
Thank you, 4-star, for speaking for me too.
Yes, absolutely. It's so much better, I'm sure, by having the two of you here talking.
I didn't do much, but my pleasure. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
so it's a wrap, and we're just going to go silent for a minute or two while James sort of clears us on YouTube and plays the outro. So it's a wrap.
And good luck.